Good morning, and welcome to Morning Gospel Fuel with Mr. G. It is Wednesday, August 25th, the 21st Wednesday of Ordinary Time, and it is the feast day of Saint Joseph Calasanz, and he is the universal patron saint of all Christian schools. Today's Gospel is from Matthew chapter 23, verses 27 through 32. Let's begin in the name of the Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You are like whitewashed tombs, which appear beautiful on the outside, but inside are full of dead men's bones and every kind of filth. Even so, on the outside you appear righteous, but inside you are filled with hypocrisy and evil-doing. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You build the tombs of the prophets and adorn the memorials of the righteous, and you say, if we had lived in the days of our ancestors, we would not have joined them in shedding the prophet's blood. Thus you bear witness against yourselves that you are the children of those who murdered the prophets. Now fill up what your ancestors measured out. All right, so we have Jesus continuing to denounce the scribes and the Pharisees and hit them up with the truth, so to speak, I guess. And, again, woe is a term that is, it is deliberate. It is, speaking with such clarity and an attack on them personally of saying woe. And he's doing this, particularly this morning and today, about this woe, dealing with the concern for externals and neglect of what is going on the inside. That's why it gives us this comparison of the whitewashed tombs. It says even back then in Jewish tradition, contact with dead bodies, since contact with dead bodies, even when one was unaware of it, caused ritual impurity, tombs were whitewashed so that no one would contact such impurity inadvertently. So you're doing every due diligence possible to stay clean. However, what Jesus is challenging us today with is making sure to reflect upon the interior of our lives. And how do we make sure that we are clean and pure within our soul and our very being inside of us, and making sure that we don't just preach the good news and then yet struggle with any sort of sin or anger or lust or whatever it might be. We know ourselves better than any other human person on this earth. So we know what's right and what's wrong and what goes on internally. Impatience could be one of them as well. So, because remember, Jesus came because he wants to save our souls. And nobody sees really our soul from the outside, from the distance. And so, although we do reveal ourselves, primarily through our closest family members, I guess. And so, because those are the ones who know us best, our highs, our lows, just the whole of what we are as human beings. Whereas whenever we're in the public eye, or if we're with our friends typically, or if we're with a complete stranger, we present our best self on the outside, even though we might be going through such inner grief and turmoil and maybe lack of self-love on the inside. And so that is what Jesus is trying to get at. He wants us to be filled with virtue and love on the interior life most of all, and not so much the exterior. And then as Catholics, what can we do if we're filled with sin or past mistakes and past regrets, or we get angry, or we get, whatever it might be, impure somehow, some way? We have the sacraments. We have which are gifts of grace given to us through the church and by God. And so the key sacrament, if you're Catholic, to cleanse our interior lives is confession, the sacrament of reconciliation. So what is it that we need to reconcile with so that we can become pure again on the inside and not walk around with such deep levels of guilt and shame. So that is what the challenge is today. If you're not Catholic, just do a self-examination of conscience to see what it is that I need to work on in the deepest being of my core. And then if you're Catholic, do the same thing, but then get your butt to confession. So have a great day. God bless, and keep it real. In the Father, Son, and Spirit, amen.